Security cameras at a Cleveland Ferrari dealership captured something impossible. An 82-year-old woman in a Walmart vest shuffled onto the showroom floor, still wearing her name tag. She pointed at a cherry-red Ferrari and said 5 words that made the salesman's jaw drop. "I'll take that one. Cash." When Martha Henderson calmly counted out $180,000 in crisp hundreds, the manager quietly called his FBI contact. What they discovered was far more shocking than money laundering. 6 months earlier, Martha's own daughter had been researching nursing homes. Martha couldn't remember her grandchildren's names. She'd gotten lost driving to a grocery store she'd shopped at for 40 years. Her brain scans showed what her doctor called catastrophic cognitive decline. Then something impossible happened. This woman who couldn't remember her own address was suddenly earning $6,000 a day. In just 90 days, she'd banked over $230,000. Her doctor was so alarmed by Martha's sudden genius-level intelligence he suspected she'd had a stroke or brain tumor and ordered immediate brain scans. When he compared the new scans to her old ones, he nearly dropped the files. "I've studied brains for 30 years, the doctor said. "This shouldn't be possible." At 82, Martha's brain had literally rewired itself. Her IQ jumped 40 points. Her memory became photographic. Her processing speed rivaled people half her age. All from a simple 7-second morning ritual she discovered online. The same ritual that's helped 47,824 people unlock brain power they never knew existed. In the next 3 minutes, you'll discover exactly what Martha did and how you can begin using this breakthrough method yourself today, no matter your age. But first, let me share how I discovered this. Hi there. My name is Dr. Orson McCoy, a professional neuroscientist and cognitive researcher. I live in Stanford, California with my lovely wife and 2 beautiful daughters. Plus, we take care of my aging mom, who's not as independent as she used to be. Outside of the lab, I coach soccer at my local high school, and every weekend I play fiddle in a local country music band. At work, I've always been fascinated by the intersection of audio and human intelligence. I thought there was huge potential to sound waves to magnify brain waves. So I've dedicated my career to working on advanced sound technology using audio stimulation to enhance brain power in exciting new ways. What I've learned over the years has astonished me, and when I explain everything, it will amaze you too. But to understand how this impacts you, the first step is to assess your current brain power. So please take a moment to try a simple experiment. I call it the keys test. Just look around your room right now. Can you instantly remember where you put your keys, wallet, and phone? If it takes longer than 3 seconds to recall all 3 locations, you've likely got the brain problem I'm about to reveal. And that's serious because it's like driving a car firing on 3 cylinders. Your mind is just spluttering along. Instead of accelerating at full speed, everything in life becomes harder than it should be. Tasks that should be easy feel like lifting a boulder up a mountain. It's difficult to focus, you get brain fog, and important things slip your mind. Life speeds by while you're stuck in slow motion. You see others effortlessly climbing the ladder of success while you're barely keeping your head above water. And deep down, you fear this nightmare will never end. You'll never enjoy the rewards that are rightfully yours. How do I know all this? That's quite a story, so let me explain. As you know, I've dedicated my career to helping people make the most of their potential, leveraging the latest audio tech. I've had many successes over the years, but a few months ago, I finally achieved my biggest breakthrough by far. A game changer that's upended everything in the most spectacular way. You see, in all my years as a neuroscientist, there was always one big question that baffled me. Why are some people super smart, cruising to amazing success on autopilot, while most of us struggle just to get ahead? Sadly, this was a question to which science had no answer, because despite incredible medical advances, how the brain works remains a mystery. I always felt that if I could answer that one key question, it would be a huge leap forward. Now, conventional wisdom says the key to superintelligence is brain size. The bigger your brain, the smarter you are. Makes sense, right? But even after burning the midnight oil at the lab, I found no evidence to support this. The available research and studies had nothing to say on the subject. I was drawing blanks, yet I wasn't about to give up. The setback just made me more determined to find the answer. So I dug deeper, working into the small hours, night after night. And as dawn broke one morning, boom! It hit me. I had a eureka moment. I realized there was a simple way to solve the mystery. I would surely find the answer in the smartest brain ever known to science, that of Dr. Albert Einstein. Of course, we all know Einstein as the genius who devised the theory of general relativity, solving the deepest puzzles of the universe. His stunning intellect outsmarted even the top boffins of his day, leaving everyone else in the dust. So he must have had a gigantic brain, right? Well, actually, nope. Although it sounds incredible, brain size had nothing to do with it. My initial research revealed that Einstein's world-famous brain was actually 15% smaller than average. That's right. You probably have a bigger brain than the mighty Einstein. So the key to superintelligence is not brain size. It had to be something else. But what? I made it my mission to find out. And after weeks of painstaking research, I discovered the answer in the most unlikely place. Buried in the incredible story of what happened to Einstein's brain, this bizarre tale sounds like the plot of a suspense thriller or even a horror movie. Yet incredibly, it's 100% true. Here's what happened. On April 18, 1955, Albert Einstein passed away at Princeton, New Jersey. A local pathologist, Dr. Thomas Stoltz Harvey, was asked to perform the autopsy. It should have been a routine procedure. But when he held the famous brain in his hands, Dr. Harvey couldn't resist temptation. He wanted to keep this giant intellect for himself, to study the source of the great man's genius. So he decided to steal Einstein's brain. Instead of sewing the great mind back into the skull, he put it in a bucket and raced home. But things didn't go as Dr. Harvey planned. His terrible crime was soon discovered. He was forced to flee thousands of miles, with police in hot pursuit. For 40 years, Dr. Harvey lived a furtive, secretive life in the Midwest. He kept Einstein's brain in a cookie jar in his basement, studying it in his spare time. But without the right scientific training and equipment, all his efforts were in vain. It was only on his deathbed that he did the right thing. He returned Einstein's brain to Princeton University to be studied by the world's top neuroscientists. And the results of this recent research have been astonishing. Thanks to new lab techniques and procedures, Einstein's amazing brain is finally giving up its secrets. And they are not what anybody expected. Brain researchers from the University of California at Berkeley made the first discoveries. Professor Marion Diamond wanted to know if Einstein's brain had any unique features that would explain his exceptional cognitive abilities. By studying slices of brain matter, her team determined that the great man's brain was indeed quite different. But the biggest surprise of all came when researchers applied new digital analysis to study one critical part of Einstein's brain. That part was the corpus callosum. Now, you may know that your brain is divided into two halves, called hemispheres. The left hemisphere controls logical activities like doing math and solving problems, and the right hemisphere focuses on creative activities, such as music and art. But for the brain to be truly intelligent, the two hemispheres must work together and share information. That's where the corpus callosum comes in. This thick bundle of nerve fibers acts as the bridge between the two hemispheres, allowing them to communicate and work together. Of course, the more nerve connections there are, the better the connection. And here's the thing. When the scientists analyzed Einstein's corpus callosum, they found it was much thicker than normal. In fact, it was like a 12-lane superhighway, packed with millions of extra nerve fibers and axons. The evidence was clear. This was what made Einstein's extraordinary genius possible. His thick, highly developed corpus callosum was the engine that drove his superior intellect. This allowed his brain to fire optimally on all four cylinders, drawing 100% of IQ power from both hemispheres. The corpus callosum was particularly dense in regions associated with high-level processing, visualization, and abstract thought. The result? Maximum creativity combined with advanced logic. And that is how Einstein was able to conceive ingenious ideas and solve the most challenging problems. As I read these eye-opening research papers, I knew I was onto something big. It was clear that Einstein's colossal corpus callosum was the key to his superintelligence. Yet there was something that puzzled me. As a young child, Einstein hadn't been smart at all. In fact, he was a slow learner who didn't start speaking until he was 3 years old. So how had this dumb kid transformed himself into the genius of later years? Intrigued, I read every biography of Einstein I could find, and I soon struck gold. I found new significance in something that had previously seemed unimportant. At the age of 6, Einstein started playing the violin, practicing for several hours a day. And this daily passion remained with him for the rest of his life. Whenever he was stuck on a crazy hard math problem, he would pick up his violin and play. And soon, the answer he needed would pop into his head. In short, Einstein's violin playing and his genius were inseparable. The one led inevitably to the other. As soon as I read this, my mind raced and my heart beat faster. In fact, I wondered if perhaps divine intervention had led me to this discovery. Because as I mentioned earlier, my career has been all about using special audio frequencies to stimulate the mind and enhance brain power. In short, I was the perfect person to use this radical new information to my advantage. As a fiddle player myself, I knew the violin produces rich harmonies that could have a positive effect on the brain. Plus, the violin is an instrument that's held right next to the musician's head, allowing these special frequencies to penetrate deep into the brain. I always found that playing the fiddle helped me feel mentally sharp, and it stimulated my creativity too. So what if these rich harmonics and frequencies were key to growing the corpus callosum? Could Einstein's passionate violin playing be his secret sauce, the key to his immense intelligence? Imagine these unique, rich harmonics and alternating frequencies penetrating his brain for hours as he played, vibrating his corpus callosum day by day for decades, stimulating the growth of billions of nerve fibers and axons, catapulting his intelligence from average to superbrain status. Excited by the possibilities, I delved into our research archives for confirmation, and what I discovered blew my mind. One university had studied the brains of 5,700 creative people, musicians, and high achievers, and the results were astonishing. Every single one of them had a highly developed corpus callosum. Some were born that way, while others unknowingly developed it, just as Einstein had. But a strong corpus callosum was the one factor they all had in common. The link between this and genius-level brain power was undeniable. The more I worked on this hypothesis, the surer I was that I'd cracked the mystery. But how could I prove it? Get a volunteer to spend 30 years playing the violin, then measure the results? Heck, that was no good. I needed a solution that would work fast. I needed results in weeks, not decades. So I came up with a plan B. I would take a shortcut by applying the advanced tech we had in the lab. We would leverage the latest audio engineering technology, augmented by artificial intelligence. I got the top scientists on my team to conduct a series of experiments. Then I suggested my mom should be the guinea pig for the project. After all, she was getting older, and her mind wasn't as sharp as it used to be. Sometimes she'd wander into a room, then have no idea why she went there. Other times she'd hunt for her glasses, only to find she was wearing them the whole time. The engineers wired up her skull to the university supercomputer and started running tests. It soon became clear that I was right. In fact, the brain scans left us speechless. For the first time in medical history, we watched in real time as these harmonic, rich sound frequencies rewired Mom's corpus callosum, the same genius bridge that gave Einstein his supernatural mental power. But although the improvement was clear, it was slight. We needed a way to speed up the process and get rapid results. And that's where applying artificial intelligence paid huge dividends. We fed all the data into the supercomputer, including both my brain scans and all the data on Einstein's brain. Then we put the AI to work, crunching the numbers to find the optimal combination of frequencies and harmonies to get the most outstanding results. Even at supercomputer speed, the calculations took days. But it was well worth the wait, because when we got the results back, they were eye-opening. In all my years as a leading audio engineer and scientist, I'd never considered stimulating the brain with such a weird combination. Could this possibly work? There was only one way to find out. So Mom sat in the test chair once again. Then my assistant played a special audio track featuring both the precise combination of frequencies and harmonies predicted by the supercomputer. We started calling this the Neuro Energizer because it energized the brain to promote greater intelligence. We repeated the process daily to accelerate results. For the first few days, my mother said she didn't feel much different. I wondered if we were going down the wrong track. But within a week or two, we started to notice real improvements. And after testing different timings, we found that a 7-second session produced the best results. That was enough to produce a significant increase in neural connectivity. Mom said it was so easy, it was like a 7-second shortcut. Over the next few weeks, things just got better and better. My mom said the brain fog that plagued her was clearing up. She was able to focus without wandering off into a daydream. She seemed brighter and more on the ball than she had for years. At dinner, she was always the one with the witty comment and the quick comeback. Then she started making things for the home, something she'd never had any aptitude for previously. She started turning out beautiful pots, embroidery and needlework. She even made jewelry to sell at craft fairs for a nice profit. The results were so impressive, I had to try the method for myself. It was so easy and a lot of fun. I just sat in a comfy chair, listening to the soothing sounds through my headphones. And it wasn't long before I noticed the difference. Every day I woke up sharp and alert. I was more organized and efficient at work. Yet when I got home, I still had the mental energy to help my teenage daughters breeze through their math homework. Then I'd complete the newspaper crossword puzzle in record time. Most surprising of all, I started to have lots more ideas, very good ones too. In team meetings, I always seemed to be the one who came up with the perfect solution to a problem, and it was effortless. I was outsmarting my younger colleagues, feeling a delightful rush of mental power. My boss was so impressed. I got a pay rise. My willpower grew stronger too. I was no longer tempted to eat candy bars and other unhealthy snacks. I started to lose weight, and before long, I was in the best shape of my life. My wife loved the smarter, slimmer, more successful version of me, and that revitalized our love life. We were happier than we'd been for years. The change was astonishing, and it happened so fast. As the Neuro Energizer supercharged my brain, things just kept getting better. Having seen just how powerful the Neuro Energizer was, I knew I had to develop the concept further. This was the key to helping regular folks unlock their true brain potential and live life to the max. Because let's be honest, what other choice do you have? How else can you reignite the power of your corpus callosum and supercharge your brain? You could do what Einstein did and play the violin 3 hours a day for the next 30 years. That will work. But ain't nobody got time for that. The next option is to invest in those expensive manifestation programs, ones that promise the world but deliver next to nothing. But that pseudoscience has been debunked, and you'll just be throwing good money after bad. The third requires you to get up at 4 a.m. every day, like Tim Cook, CEO of Apple. He meditates for an hour, then heads for the gym at 5 a.m. It's a tough regime, but it works for him. The final choice is to use a biofeedback machine to stimulate brain activity. This is very effective, but a course of treatment could set you back $10,000. so maybe leave that one to Elon Musk. Luckily, there's a fourth option which is much more practical, and that's to use the Neuro Energizer. This is by far the simplest and most cost-effective option, and as I know from personal experience, it works like gangbusters. I knew that nobody wants to get up at the crack of dawn, wait for decades, or spend thousands of dollars on treatment. So I continued my research into the Neuro Energizer. We refined our system, combining the special combination of frequencies and harmonies into a single powerful audio track that's easy to listen to. We tested the improved solution on our colleagues and family members, and you're gonna love this. The results were off the charts. Our volunteers simply listened to the audio track for 7 seconds per day. Within weeks, they started seeing life-changing results, leaving us gasping in amazement. We measured their corpus callosums growing at a phenomenal rate. Soon their brain scans were off the charts, matching those of the 5,700 geniuses in the university study. A graduate research student scored top marks in his academic thesis, making him the star of his faculty. Another colleague finally finished the screenplay he'd been working on and sold it for a small fortune. One team member used the audio track to help his grandmother, who'd been showing signs of dementia. After a few weeks of trying the method, Grandma's brain was as sharp as a razor once more. This 76-year-old was able to play bridge with her friends once more. She even started to learn computer programming. She became unstoppable. My wife was intrigued by all this, so she asked to try it too. Did it work? Hell yeah! After being stuck in her career for years, she broke through the glass ceiling, landing a big promotion and a corner office, and a $100,000 bonus. Others have used this method to increase their willpower. One man was able to quit smoking after decades of trying, and his wife, she stopped overeating and dropped 42 pounds of fat. She threw all her fat clothes in the trash and started wearing slim, sexy clothes that drove her hubby wild with desire. I was astonished at how many people were finally able to realize their full potential. With their brains humming at maximum power, they were knocking it out of the park in so many ways. People of all ages and backgrounds were making more money, becoming more popular, and getting into the best shape of their lives. They were now just as smart as the 5,700 geniuses in the university study. Thanks to their new Einstein brains, they could accomplish almost anything. Once we realized how amazingly well the Neuro Energizer worked, we decided to share it with more people. We turned it into a digital product so that anyone worldwide can enjoy the benefits. And then we invited beta testers all over the world to try it. The reaction has been extraordinary. Already, 92,653 people have seen their lives transformed, flooding our inboxes with happy messages and leaving raving 5-star reviews. The impact has been much greater than I imagined. Of course, that's because it's the first and only product developed specifically to turbocharge your intelligence. Just think, up till now, you've struggled through life with an underdeveloped corpus callosum. That's blocked your brain power and stopped you from accomplishing your big goals in life. But now you can put those days of disappointment behind you. Instead, you can grow your brain like Einstein, opening up a vista of new, exciting possibilities. You won't have to be born lucky, and you won't have to spend decades developing your corpus callosum like Einstein. You get to take the fast track. Whatever your age, you'll be able to turbocharge your brain, just like my mom and so many others. You too can be like the 5,700 smartest people in the world, becoming a high achiever who knocks it out of the park time and time again. You'll be free to accomplish whatever you want, and no one will be able to stop you. It's so easy. Anyone can do this. Just take the 7-second shortcut. Every day you spend a short time listening to the relaxing sound wave. You can do this on the sofa, lying in bed, or while driving in your car. As soon as you start, the process of supercharging your brain begins. The sound waves and frequencies vibrate this part of your brain, stimulating both hemispheres. The corpus callosum is forced into action to synchronize the music, forcing it to grow. It's just like building muscle at the gym. The more you exercise it, the more it grows. It starts to have an effect right away, even on the very first time you use it. So your life starts getting better from day one. The Neuro Energizer stimulates your powers of logic, creativity, memory, coordination, and problem solving. You will find it easier to focus, learn, imagine, and remember. It's like a workout for your brain, but it happens while you relax in the comfort of your own home. You don't need to read, write, or even think. You just enjoy a few moments of peace while the energizing sound waves get to work, growing your brain like Einstein's. With your corpus callosum re-energized, you'll tackle any mental task with fresh energy. Great ideas will just pop into your head from nowhere. You'll always be the smartest person in the group, winning admiration from everyone. Imagine walking into any room and instantly owning it. You're no longer second-guessing yourself or struggling to keep up. Instead, you're the one with the quick comebacks and the game-changing ideas. Your laser-sharp focus will leave others in awe. With your new super brain operating on overdrive, everything in life will become so much easier. Whatever you want from life will be within your grasp. Problems that once baffled you will become easy to solve, as if the scales have fallen from your eyes. Instead of missing opportunities that are under your nose, you'll spot them right away and turn them to your advantage. For sure, you'll find it easy to attract money. giving you true financial freedom. Success will be drawn to you like a magnet. You'll always know the right thing to say and when to say it. That means you can get the big promotion you've always dreamed of, acing interviews and impressing everyone. Or you can quit your job and enjoy all the free time in the world. Go traveling, take up a new hobby, or just spend more time with your friends and loved ones. But that's just the start. With your new, smarter brain, you'll know exactly how to attract love into your life or strengthen an existing relationship. People will love to be in your company, and you'll be the center of attention. More surprisingly, your health will improve too, because excellent brain health is key to tip-top body health. You'll soon be slim, fit, bursting with energy and ready for whatever adventure comes your way. It will be just like having your own genie in a bottle. You can make any wish come true and finally live the life of your dreams. Even if you've experienced trauma that's suppressed your corpus callosum, you can finally regain the super brain you deserve. At last, you'll realize your full potential, becoming the person you always wanted to be. And the best part? With every passing day, this new hypercharged version of you just keeps getting better. You will become more unstoppable, more successful. As more neural connections grow, your IQ will soar to new heights. You'll be able to tackle projects you thought were beyond you. Learn Spanish for your vacation? Easy. Play your favorite songs on the guitar? No problem. Make $1 million in the stock market? You can do that too. And with your mind in tip-top shape, you'll notice the effect in other areas of your life. That's because your brain controls everything, from your health to your relationships. So you'll find it easier to lose weight and stay in shape, as well as having more energy. Your relationships will become stronger than ever, perhaps putting the romance back into your world. As for your career, there will be no stopping you. With your intelligence operating at full throttle, you'll be the rising star who gets the plum job, and with a pay packet to match, too. Or you could use your new skills to launch a business and take it to the moon, rub shoulders with billionaires, and enjoy the 5-star lifestyle. If you've ever wondered why some people have all the luck, you now know why. But instead of looking on with envy, you will become one of the chosen. With your brain optimally tuned, you'll see opportunities that others miss and make connections that others don't. Everything will fall into place, bringing abundance to you and your family. At last, you'll be able to show the world what you're truly capable of. And all those people who doubted you will have to eat their words, because you'll be able to achieve life-changing outcomes. Like so many of our 92,653 delighted beta testers, you could get results like Sarah Muller, a teacher from Riverside, Oregon, who shared her experience. Before discovering this, I felt powerless against life's challenges. I'd tried everything from mindfulness to manifestation techniques, but nothing worked. Within weeks of trying the Neuro Energizer, I've become a different person. I'm doing much better at work, and I found it easy to learn the piano. For once, I'm actually getting what I want. Here's another testimonial sent by Emma from Houston, Texas. I was drawn to this for its financial benefits. I hoped tapping into the Neuro Energizer would unlock the intelligence we possess as children and boost my business. And it did. The first week passed uneventfully, but by the second, my husband remarked on my increased sharpness. Fast forward a couple of months, and my business is thriving. I'm making enough to finally quit my rotten job. I'm thoroughly impressed with this. Emma from Chicago shared, growing up, my family was plagued by the notion of bad luck. No matter how hard I tried, life never seemed to go my way. But the Neuro Energizer revolutionized my life.